welcome to my channel, and Happy New Year. The first thing that I need to tell you is that I'm losing my voice. Normally, I guess you'd expect that I just, film this video on another day, but this is not a cold thing or a flu thing. This is a thing that's going to happen from time to time. So, we're just gonna ignore it. At least I am. We are going into 2025 with the first Make from Stash project. For my first project, I've selected a cardigan from the book Knit Swirl by Sandra McIver. So I'm making everything from stash this year, as I've said before. So the issue with finding a cardigan in this book is that most of the cardigans in here are worsted weight, Aran weight, DK maybe, and most of my yarn, as you've seen in the stash video where I showed all of my yarn and weighed it all out, is that most of my yarn is fingering weight. I have a lot of sock yarn. So there is, in this book, there is one sweater, one cardigan that is actually fingering weight yarn. It is the cardigan Rubies and Ribbons. It is a really pretty cardigan, so I'm excited to make it, and I selected a bunch of my sock yarn in various shades of red, so I think that's going to look really nice. So the first thing I had to do, and I did that yesterday, was I made swatches. And to be perfectly honest with you, I was swatching for the internet. My toxic trait is that I don't swatch, and then I feel very frustrated when my sweaters and cardigans don't fit. So first up was a swatch with Rohrspatz und Wollmeise in coral, maybe? Yes, I think it was coral. So the cardigans in this book are knit in welts, as Sandra McIver calls them. So they are stripes of stockinette stitch and then reverse stockinette stitch. So I made the swatch, and she has a very intricate process for swatching. You have to swatch in pattern, obviously. And so after doing all the regular things that you do with a swatch, washing and drying and all of that, you pin out the swatch to the required dimensions. So in this case, it was a 4 by 4 inch square. The required gauge was 29 stitches and 36 rows. This swatch gives me 22 stitches and 30 rows on a 4mm needle. So I made a second swatch. I can't even tell you when the last time that happened, that I made two swatches for a single garment. I realized that I did in fact have 375 needles, so I made a swatch with this. This is not the same color, don't worry. The light's not that different. It's not. This is also Wollmeise, but in the color Herzblut, which means heart's blood. So this time, with the 375, I got to 26 stitches and 36 rows. So that's still not quite gauge. Gauge would have been 29 by 36, but this time I calculated that if I go a size down, I will get the same dimensions that I need. So I'm going to knit this in a size 2. So now we will cast on. Now I had to Frankenstein my needles a little bit. Okay. These are Addy Click needles they needed to be 40 inches. Mine are a little bit larger. I had the choice between a lot longer, a little bit longer, or very much shorter. So since you cast on 700 stitches, 700 stitches, this seems the right length, and if not, well, I guess I'll improvise. So how do you cast on 700 stitches? You do that with a lot of stitch markers, and in my case, here, bought stitch markers. You use a crochet cast on because normally my go-to cast on is the long tail, but for 700 stitches I cannot possibly figure out how much of a long tail I need. I know there is a way you can calculate. Not today. Today we are going to do crochet cast on. So I am starting with the Wollmeise Herzblut. So the original pattern has 2 different red yarns that are alternating. I will not be doing that because I have like 5 different yarns, so I'll just knit them up one after the other. They're all very similar shades of red. It'll look good, I think. Okay, so oh yeah, I took some yarn winding footage yesterday. It's going to be right here. So I filmed just a little bit of it because I wanted to show you my ancient Swift and my ancient yarn winder. Both are from my grandmother. Very proud of them. The yarn winder, I know it looks as if it's terribly dirty, and I suppose it is, but that's permanent. I'm not sure what happened there, but that's a permanent stain. So I wound the yarn into a nice cake, but I will not be pulling from the inside because I don't like it. Because eventually the yarn cake collapses and then you have a big mess. At least I do. If you don't, teach me your ways in the comments how to avoid that. Okay, so I need the book. So here's the book. Here's my coffee. Today's mug says, it's one of my favorites, it says, I see the screw-up fairy has visited us again. And she does quite frequently. Okay, so I am marking the book. Don't come at me, it's my book. It's fine. I am marking it because I am making size 2 and I don't want to forget that that's what I'm doing. So I need this one, this one, this one, and this one. There we go. Oh, and this one. Okay. All right, so we are casting on 697 stitches. Isn't that great? In sections. Okay, so the charm of the crochet cast on is that you don't need to know how much of a yarn tail you need. So you make a slip knot on your crochet hook, and you put the yarn behind your knitting needle, and then you just pull. There you go. Cast on one stitch. Okay, so 2 sections of 76 stitches. Jesus. Do you really want to see this? Do you? Well, maybe we'll do the first section together, huh? Okay. So, behind 2, 3, 4, 5. How about some music, huh? Alright folks, I just cast on 697 stitches. I don't think I've ever done that many stitches in my life, but we're gonna see how this goes. I still want to show you what I made in December, and I will, but not right now because this cast on has taken me almost to lunchtime, and so I'm gonna go make a sandwich. I hope you're all having a good day, and take a look at your stash and make something with it. Bye!